And we are motherfucking back.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, we back.
Oh, we back. We back. We back.
Oh, guys, you know who this is. This is the tranny-loving, supporting Samantha Lopez.
I do what I can.
You
for
do.
For the community.
You know what, bro? That is cool that you stand with that community.
Yeah, of course.
You have no problems with them.
Really, none.
And they coming for your mans.
You know what?
They coming for your boy now.
If they want to go and do all that work, that's their prerogative, right?
It's a lot of leg work, dog.
It's a lot of leg work
to fuck with your boy.
Yeah, he needs a lot of foreplay.
I do.
And food.
I need food. Also, I'm very subtle too. I do need like affirmation.
Yeah.
I need love. I'm a dog.
Yes, he's a puppy. He's a big puppy.
I'm a big old puppy bear. You know what I mean?
That's you.
So I need fucking lots of love. I need fucking lots of like, you know, as wild as your boy is, and as much as I don't give a fuck about anything, and let me remind you, I fucking don't. I need lots of hugs and kisses. I do.
He's very sensitive.
I'm a sensitive guy who doesn't give a fuck.
He want you to know that, but we're putting it out there.
Yeah, I'm like Kevin Durant. I don't give a fuck, but I will cry about it. I will cry my eyes out about how much I don't give a fuck. Okay? That's who I am. So you're welcome to the fucking family, all you new listeners. Samantha Lee Lopez, my beautiful bride-to-be. How you feeling today, baby?
Feeling well.
You're looking perfect.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ, you have a perfect face.
I only come on here for the compliments.
Oh, my God. Well, I can't stop giving to you because goddamn, she's a baddie. But that's not why you're here, to show off your big old breasts. You're here for other reasons. You're here for me to tell you a movie you have not seen.
Yes, that's why I came.
That is why you came. Literally, it's the only reason it's the only way I can get her to come. Bo.
These are the jokes.
These are the fucking jokes, guys. These are the fucking jokes. You better get on board. You better get on board. Don't fucking look at me like that, looking at the fucking screen. I'm gonna tell the movie. Also, I know you're looking at the screen. You don't even know the fucking movie, so chill the fuck out. But Sam, I am excited to tell you this movie today. This is one of my mother's favorite movies.
I've seen some of your mom's favorite movies.
I know you have.
But this is also one of your mom's.
This is also one of my mom's favorite movies.
Oh, wow.
She put me on this movie because there's this whole. My dad put me on most of the movies. That's why I've seen so many movies over and over again. It's because of Pops, because of Ricky Poston, and that's why I'll watch a movie 30 times whether I like it or not. Sam knows this. I have to rewatch everything.
He does. It's very
I have to rewatch everything. There's lots of new people. I'm telling them I have to rewatch everything 30 times, whether the movie is trash or good, because I love it. What?
Yeah, even if you don't like the movie.
Yeah, if I don't like it, I don't care. I have to rewatch it again because I have to be like, why don't I like this so much? And then I keep rewatching and I'm like, oh, this is why. But this movie was shown to me by my mother. And I remember it was one of those movies where I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I remember thinking that as like, I was like a teenager. I was like, I don't want to watch this. This just seems like something I don't want to watch. And now it's one of my favorite movies. And every time it's on TV, I watch it all. I try to watch it all the way through. It's unreal how good this movie is. Sam, are you ready?
Yeah.
To hear a movie completely from me that you have never seen before in your life?
Oh, yeah, this is my favorite thing. This is so much fun.
Well, before we get started, can you tell me what you think happens in Phenomenon?
Oh, damn. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that John Travolta is an angel. Damn, but keep going. You're already going now. You're rocking with it now, baby. I'm pretty sure John Travolta is an angel. If I'm thinking of the right movie.
When is he not?
Oh, well,
when is the man not? Let's start there.
He's always an angel.
Even in Pulp Fiction, the man is an angel. He's an angel. Facts.
They read the Bible.
Facts. They do read
There's
the Bible.
two of them.
Fiction, and there's two of them, and they're black and white, and they're beautiful angel face. And look how iconic they are.
They're definitely angels. He's always an angel.
He's facts. I agree with this. Hairspray, angel.
He's like a guardian angel who comes down to like guard someone, but then he falls in love with a real human.
Oh, that's so him.
And then they're like, but I have to go back and be an angel and be with God. And then he's like torn. And then like in the end, maybe God gives him the choice to be a regular person and just be with the one person he loves.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really good.
Really?
Yeah. That's also
it's very 90s.
The reason it's so good and the reason it's so 90s is because, Sam, you literally described a different John Travolta movie in the 90s.
Are you kidding?
That's why. That's why that was so good. Is because that exists. It's not the movie we're doing today. It's not the movie we're doing today. Is the movie she said amazing? Yes, it is. The movie you are describing is, I believe, called. I have to look it up.
Is it called Michael?
I think it's called Michael. I got to look it up. Or maybe it's called Michelangelo. It might be called Michelangelo. Hold on, let's see.
Wait, these aren't the
Oh,
same
I don't have
movie?
fucking Wi-Fi. I don't know why I'm looking on this.
Oh, you
But now I got to know. I got to use the phone. And I also have to answer this. Hey, guys, you're getting stuff in live time.
This is real.
This is real time. I also just got a text message from our boy Brian Redband to do a spot tonight, so I have to answer that. That's what happens on this podcast.
Sometimes it gets work.
Sometimes I get work. I'm broke as fuck, so I gotta accept this kind of stuff immediately.
Yeah, so welcome to the podcast. You know, sometimes it's not about you guys, it's more about Deric, and then sometimes it's about me. A lot of times it's about Hassan.
A lot of times it's about Hassan, but hey, don't worry too much about him because that guy did 9/11. So
Yeah, we try to forget that.
we try to forget it, but it's hard because they keep telling us not to. Okay, Michael, John Travolta, and yes, that is a movie from 1996.
Okay, that's not the same movie.
That
though.
is not this movie, but that is a fire movie though.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen that movie or I've just seen the ads for that movie so many times.
It's a fire movie.
Wait, so this isn't the same movie?
No, this is not that movie. This is, you know what's funny though? When I was a kid, I think that's why I didn't want to watch it because I was like, I think I've seen this movie already, Mom. And, and then I watched it and I was like, I have not seen this movie. This is a really good movie. Now, I know it's 90. Yes, and I'll even admit it is 90s. But fuck, this is a good movie.
I love the 90s.
Dude, Sam, are you ready to fucking cry your eyes out?
That's not what I came here for, but I'll do it if I have to.
Goddamn right you will. You ready?
Yes.
Right after this commercial message. Right after this commercial message. Fuck! Hey, Bean Mafia. That's right. The Bean Mafia gang has stepped up. Spoil the beans. We're here. We got a real ad, baby. This is a real motherfucking ad. Manscaped. That's right. That's Manscaped. You heard me correct. Everyone out there who has been listening to this podcast forever, we got a real product backing us, supporting the Spoil the Beans lifestyle, supporting the Spoil the Beans movement. And you know what's nice is this product is actually the shit. I've never used Manscaped. I've never used Manscaped before. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I ever used it. Holy shit. Not kidding. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's amazing. It is
Top tier.
Top tier. Sam likes the new package.
I dig it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm talking about my package. This is incredible. Your boy, I'm gaining girth. You gain girth. You gain length. Fellas, Manscaped. You're giving yourself inches, baby. And if Al Pacino didn't say anything, he said, life is a game of inches. You haven't seen this movie yet.
I was like, what?
Any given
Say
Sunday.
that?
Life's a game of inches. Nigga, Manscaped. That should be their fucking slogan. It's a game of inches. Life. Your penis. Manscaped. Dude, I love it. Spoil the Beans. That is our promo code. Literally type in Spoil the Beans. Get 20% off. Guys, let me go through how good this is. See this right here? You see this? This bad boy, excuse me, is the lawnmower. Lawnmower 4.0. Dude, I use this, shaved my balls in 10 minutes. Hadn't shaved in like half a year, probably. You know what I mean? Shaved, tire sack, 10 minutes. Unbelievable.
But you're not even nearly as hairy as I am. Hey, for the ladies who are listening to this, you can also use this to shave you. I'm a very hairy lady. I'm a kind of a fuzzy person. What?
She's a fuzzball, dog.
I'm a fuzzball. I'm like a tennis ball.
She's a fucking tennis ball.
I am a tennis ball up in here. And this is very handy, I will say.
Love it. The 4.0.
So
the
quick.
Lawnmower 4.0.
Trimmed my fuzz.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, Manscaped, let me tell you something about the 4.0. They engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to our advanced skin-safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys. That is true.
I had no nicks.
I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah, I had zero nicks. And I've shaved my balls plenty of times with other razors and other things like that. You know what I mean? And literally always a nick or two, which sucks because your balls, you don't want your balls bleeding all day.
Yeah, that's gross.
Because it's
You're not
nonstop. A lot of
supposed to
blood down there.
bleed.
Yeah, so you just don't want that. You know what I mean? I didn't know this also. I'm one of the first people, me and you, Samantha, to try the new 4.0. And I am blown away by the performance. I literally am. It's phenomenal. It really is. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It really can. You can lock it if you need to. It also gives you the ability to turn the 400K LED spotlight on and off whenever needed for a precise shave.
I looked up how
Oh
to
my
do
God. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4, which is really nice. I did need the size length. I was going to go no trimmer, and Sam had helped me out here.
Yeah, we wanted to get a little bit of a fade going.
I wanted more of a fade. I didn't want a full ball, but I like the fade. Did I mention, this is very important, wireless charging. Look at this. This is wireless. This is charging right now, all right? Wireless charging, well, you got to plug it in, but it could be charging right now is my point.
It could be.
Wireless charging uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants pubes in their mouth.
Yeah, you should have one for each.
One for each. Me and Sam both have one. It's fucking awesome. It's time to get your own ball and hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off, free shipping with the code SpoilTheBeans. All one word, Spoil the Beans, all caps. Guys, it's the name of the pod, Spoil the Beans. Easy. Manscaped. Use it. Yo, let me tell you this. These are some of the things that you get. Waterproof trimmer. Reduces foot odor. I didn't know that, but this does reduce foot odor.
Really?
It does. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer helps reduce nicks, reduces the risk of ingrown hairs, and reduces the risk of grooming accidents. I stand by all those things 1,000%. This is not because they're the first brand to support us. I genuinely fuck with this. Mm-hmm. The nose trimmer, incredible. Got all my nose hairs out.
He's got a hairy nose. That's the one thing that is very hairy.
I'm not really a hairy guy. My
He's
balls
not.
a little bit, but my nose
But
gets
your
pretty hairy.
nose needed.
I loved this. The crop preserver, the ball deodorant, genuinely found it refreshing on my testes.
You felt refreshed.
It added a little spice. You know, it really did. I wasn't mad about it. I really wasn't. The crop reviver, the ball toner, also felt good on my balls. I love this bag that they come with. This is just nice for, because I travel a lot.
The shed.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it says on here. The shed. It's
The shed, the travel
storage
bag. I travel a lot,
They have
so
cool
I've been
stuff.
using it on the road. Unbelievable. Unbelievable kit. Unbelievable package. I've been putting my other toiletries in this, but it's phenomenal. Dude, everything they sent us, I've been using. Every single thing. Sam uses them.
I did. I had to trim the fuzz.
Dude, if you're in a couple, get two. Get the 4.0
get two.
lawnmower. Unreal. Get the fucking, for fellas, if you got a hairy nose, get the weed whacker. 1,000% recommend the weed whacker if you got a hairy nose. Ball fucking deodorant, the crop preserver, unbelievable. The toner, unbelievable. God, the lawnmower 4.0, seriously. I genuinely loved this product. It is so worth it. It's just, I shaved. I'm going to probably shave again in another week. Took me 10 minutes. Crop the area. More inches.
It took you less time than 10 minutes.
Did it? It felt so fast.
It was very fast. Maybe
was
like
quick.
2 songs.
It was 2 rap songs. So we're talking,
rap
it might be
songs?
6 minutes. Probably, yeah, right. 6 minutes if we're being all the way honest. 6 minutes. Your boy was fresh shaved up. We had incredible sex. Can I guarantee the great sex you'll have? I can't guarantee that. I can hope for it. I'll hope for it.
We can put that energy into
I'll
your
put that
future.
energy. If you use Spoil the Beans, Manscaped,
20%
promo code,
off.
20% off, plus free shipping, I will put that good energy if you're going to have good sex after you Manscaped. I'm going to put that out there on you.
That's free, man.
That's for you. Guys,
lady.
Spoil the Beans. The promo code's right here. Use it. Don't lose it. All right? 20% off. And Manscaped, thank you so much, man. You guys, this
Thank
was
you,
amazing.
Manscaped.
We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting the Bean Mafia. And back to the movie.
And we're back. Guys, before we get started, make sure you follow Samantha Lopez at Best Sam Lopez on Instagram.
That's me.
And show her some love. Show her all the love you can. Rise her followers up. She doesn't want to show her ass and titties.
No.
So the only way we can stop that is if you guys follow her.
But I'll also show Deric's ass and titties.
She will show my ass and titties. So I won't show it, but she will. So that's
Yeah,
why you
want
gotta.
that?
If you want that,
You want what I live with?
go follow this
Follow me.
motherfucker. Sam,
What's up?
movie starts.
Okay.
Sweet music plays. Very 90s. We see plants.
Does it have the cursive credits?
Oh, of course. No. I think
the
it's that
Times
basic.
New
No,
Roman.
it's Time New Roman. It's that basic. We see plants, credits roll. Phenomenon. Okay? Credits go way too long because it's 1990s.
Yeah.
The credits go way too long. The movie's 2 hours and 5 minutes.
It's better than the 70s.
10 of its credits. Huh?
It's better than the 70s. The 70s was a lot of credits.
A lot of credits too. But 90s brought it back. They always do that where they're like, yo, let's make the credits too long in the beginning. So we see a small town. We hear a guy complaining, these goddamn rabbits. And we see our lead, JT, John Travolta.
Oh, wow. I got excited. I thought it
That
was
was
Justin
Justin Timberlake?
Timberlake. I was like, whoa.
Oh, childlike.
I really
Wait,
didn't
90s?
know what this movie was.
90s? Justin? No, he was doing Disney work at that time, wasn't
Yeah, that could have
he?
been.
No, I'm saying that doesn't make sense. He was already acting,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. Right? JT? When he was a Disney kid.
He wasn't. He
With
wasn't
Britney Spears.
acting. They were in Mickey Mouse Club.
That wasn't acting?
No, they're dancing and singing. It's different. It's like being on Barney, but like better.
Oh, okay. I guess in Barney you're kind of acting, but you're mainly just dancing and singing. I do see what you're saying.
It's like the Rockettes of Barney's.
They're the Rockettes and Barney. Absolutely.
Yeah. The
I-
highest quality Barney kids were on Mickey Mouse
We're
Club.
on Mickey Mouse Club. That's facts. Damn, bro. And then a lot of them niggas went on to be stars, so it lets you know there is something going on. There's
Actually,
something in the
I think that was
juice.
probably the early 90s, like 90 or 80 even, or late 80s.
Yeah. Let's focus.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
We
This
see our
isn't
lead.
about Justin Timberlake.
Sam, this isn't about Justin Timberlake. All right? He's complaining. These goddamn rabbits. He comes out the garden and he's like, wait a minute. And he looks at his dog and he's like, and you call yourself security? Goddamn bunny got in here. And you see he's got a nice little garden, right? It's not crazy. It's just a nice little garden.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got, and it's a small town, middle of nowhere kind of town. All right? So he's got all this land. Our car pulls up and you hear, hey, George, you gonna stand there? You gonna help me with these boxes? It's our second lead in this, Forrest Whitaker.
Oh,
I know, right?
okay.
And he's like, all right. He's like, what is all this? And he's like, I got your solar panels and batteries, you know? And he's like, oh man, what the hell am I gonna do with this, you know, all this stuff? I'm selling this house anyway. And he's like, sure you are, but you keep trying to improve that garden, right? And they're kind of laughing. And he's like, I don't know, man, that goddamn rabbit keeps getting in here. And then he goes, George, I told you the fence isn't deep enough. That's why it keeps burrowing under. He's like, I made it a foot deep. That can't be it. And they're just arguing back and forth, right? Clearly boys. Mm-hmm. So he leaves the boxes, all right? And he goes, he leaves the boxes, he goes, so like, he's like, Forrest, you know, his name's Nate. He's Nate, who's supposed to put all this shit together? I don't know how to do this shit. He's like, oh man, you can figure it out. Here's the manual. It's in 3 different languages. And he laughs and he kind of like, you know, pulls off. No, he like gets, like they're getting in the car, he's about to leave. He goes, hey, you bringing any, he looks at our boy Nate and he goes, you bringing anybody tonight? And he goes, nah, you know, I was thinking about asking Diana Ross, but she never answers me, okay? He goes, what about you? And he goes, I'm thinking about asking somebody out tonight. John Travolta says that to George, all right? He goes, all right, George, I'll see you later. Cut to him at work, he's a mechanic. This is all like the opening shot stuff. So
Okay, so there's still credits happening.
Yeah, like it's still like you just opening like, oh, these are who these people are type shit.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
He's at work, he's a mechanic. His boss speaking Spanish to him, and he's trying to figure out what he's saying. He's like, yeah, and he knows like a word or two, you know. And he's just but he's clearly the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get it one of these days, Tito. And Tito's laughing like, ¿qué pasó? You know, laughing and shit. And then you see right then a woman pulls up, and he smiles really big, and he's like, hey, Lace. God, you look great today. And she's like, all right. She's like, how you doing, George? How are the chairs selling? This is our lead, by the way, our lead actress.
Okay.
I don't know who she is, but she's a white woman you might recognize.
Can you show me, or can you show me on your phone?
What's she
her
look
name?
like?
You don't know her name?
I don't know her name.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, she's somebody, but I don't know her like that. But watch her be somebody super famous.
Probably someone
She's probably
super
someone,
famous.
because it's Forrest Whitaker, John
He
Travolta.
disrespects women this way.
You know what? Let's see. Now, because now I'm like, let's see who this bitch is. Hold on, bro. Since y'all got me fucking curious.
Well, I'm curious. You said I would know her.
Let's see. She is Kyra Sedgwick.
I know that name. Let me see what she looks like.
This bitch.
Oh yeah, it's that bitch.
It's that bitch. Oh, the
Dude,
closer. She's the
She's
closer.
in everything.
I mean, I know niggas know what I'm right. Like, nigga, the closer is like, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
She's been in a lot of shit though. She's our lead in this. All right.
Oh, wow. That's a very 90s.
This is the 90s cast, dog. So, she's like, how are those chairs selling? And he's like, well, only got one left. I need 4 more. She's like, wow, okay. She's like, he's like, yep, people love to sit around, out here. And she's like, all right. So he's helping her get more chairs. And he's like, by the way, Lace, there's this party at the bar tonight. And, it's my birthday. So I was wondering. And she's immediately annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, he's inviting her to his birthday party. That's super lame.
it's lame as fuck.
So lame.
We get mad about this, me and Sam
Adults
personally.
who throw themselves birthday parties?
Bruh, at what point are you not... How many hugs? How many hugs before you don't need a birthday party? Let me know. I'll give you that amount.
Just chill. Someone will eventually throw you a birthday party. And it'll mean something for real.
It would.
But...
So he's talking to her. She's annoyed.
Loser.
Somebody goes, hey, George, it's 10 o'clock. You're supposed to look at the window, like at the doctor's window. And then she's like, what's that mean? He's like, oh, the doctor told me to look up at 10 o'clock. He said he's got something for my birthday. The blinds change and it says, happy birthday, George. And everybody kind of smiles. And then they open up and he moons them. And everybody's like, oh, and everybody's laughing. And the Lace lady, even the lady, she's like smiling and laughing. She's like, so that's the doctor in this town, huh? And he's like, yeah, that's him, right? Wow. Small town.
Yeah.
Like everybody fucks with each other like that. So he goes, Sam, you're not ready for this movie. Oh my God, I'm just setting you up. It's just like, you know what it feels like, guys? It's like putting a bunch of bowling pins down. You know what I mean? And it's like, I haven't even got to the point yet where I'm walking back to throw the ball. I'm just putting them down going, oh, I'm about to knock these motherfuckers. So, she goes, he's like, Lace, can you please come tonight? And then she's like, no, I can't. And he goes, is it me? And she goes, no, it's not you. He goes, okay, good. I'm going to keep on asking you. And then she kind of smiles and she's like, she tries to start her car. Her car like struggles to start. And he goes, oh, God, I'd love to get my hands on your carburetor. She's like, I bet you would. And he drives off, right?
Well, he thinks he can just say stuff like this because he's John Travolta.
John Travolta. He's so cute about it.
Of course he is.
It's 90s John, too. So cut to that night. It's his birthday party. It's at the bar. Whole town's there. All right. Everyone loves this guy. Everyone's just, you can tell everybody just loves him and just like, you know what I mean? Like he matters, So you see Forrest, he's talking to him about Diana Ross and like how happy she would be on his farm. And like, he's drunk and he's like, I'm telling you, bro, if she ever met me, man, I'd have her, she'd just be out and nobody would bother her. Just be me and her and the farm, He's just such a sweet dude, like this guy. And he's like, man, I'm telling you, that would be her real heaven. The doctor comes in. They're like, hey, doc. The doctor is Robert Duvall.
I know that name too.
You haven't seen The Godfather. Shit.
No, I've never seen The Godfather. That's why I'm here.
That is why you're here.
For important things like The Godfather and Phenomenon, which is not about him being an angel.
Yo, the fact that Robert Duvall he's at the last name. He was the last name to come up. That's insane.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's like one of the greatest actors. 91 years old. Holy shit,
really
Robert.
old.
Still alive, but damn. That nigga had a career, though. He's been in everything. This nigga's been in everything. So he comes in, and he brings him a gift, and John Travolta opens it up. It's a chessboard. Ooh. And he's like, oh, Doc, come on, man. He's like, why don't you let me play checkers? That way I can win a game. He goes, no. You have potential, George. That's one thing I always said about you. He said, even when I gave birth to you, I said, the doctor's old. He's old. Yeah, he's super old. He goes, I always said that George had something special to offer this world. He said, that's why I circumcised you. And everybody laughs. And then he talks about he starts talking to the doctor about Lace and how he loves her chairs and yada, yada. And everyone starts shitting on him about how uncomfortable the ladies' chairs are.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, hey, man, her chairs suck. Why do you keep buying them? He's like, no, you guys just don't know how to sit in them right. Trust me, she's got the best chairs. He's in love with this bitch.
Wow.
Sam, when I said you're not ready for this movie, you're not ready for this movie. So everybody's like, you know what? Everybody stops and gives a big toast to him. Happy birthday, George. He's so happy. He's like, oh, man, you guys are so great. He's just so happy. Like, man, you guys are the best. So that cut to later that night. He's drunk, kind of stumbling. And he's talking to the Mexican dude that he works with. And he's like, Tito, hold up, man. And he's like, I just want to say thanks for coming to my party, man. I love you guys. And he's like, we love you too, George. Happy birthday. You get home safe tonight. He's like, I will. I'll walk. And so he walks outside. And he's in the town kind of by himself. And he looks up at the stars. And he's like, wow, 37. 37. He cheers himself. And he keeps looking. And he sees one star get really bright.
is happening?
And then like really bright, super bright, like crazy. Now he's like, what the fuck? And he's staring at it, and it gets bigger and bigger, and then like a beam of light, it like flashes, and it knocks him down. He falls. And he comes to, he's like, what the fuck? And he runs inside, and he's like, yo, did anybody see that? And everybody's like, there's a couple people still in the bar. The doctor's there playing chess with somebody else. And he's like, see what? He's like, what? That kind of light. And he's like, no, I didn't see it. And he's like, George, come here. Let's finish this game, though. Here, watch it. Let George finish. And he's like, you guys didn't see that? So George walks over, and he moves the chess piece. And the guy's like, no. And he's like, I mean, I'm telling you, it was like a star, and then it got bigger, and then, I mean, it knocked me on my feet. And then Nate's like, man, you're fucking drunk, right? And everybody laughs like, oh, and he's like, no, I'm not drunk. And then right then the doctor goes, George, I'm taking your queen. Pay attention. And he takes his queen. And then George goes, man, that's crazy. Y'all didn't see it. And then he doesn't move, and he goes, checkmate. And then the whole bar stops, and they go, Doc, he beat you?
Huh.
And the doc's like, fuck? Sam. Doc's like, what the fuck? And then Nate's like, oh, you let him do that as a B-Day present, right? And he goes, no, I didn't. And he's like, come on, sit down, hold up. Now we got to play another one. And he's like, oh, stop, Doc, I'm drunk. You'll get your revenge tomorrow. Right? He's like, I beat you tonight. Like, he's like, drunk, like, I got you, He's like, all right, I got to go. He's like, anyway, I just want to say thanks, everybody. This was a great party. And everyone's like, I love you, George. And he leaves. The doctor's like, he's never beat him, Sam.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So he's like, the fuck just happened? He's up that night in his house, and he's like, he can't sleep. And he pulls out a Spanish book, like how to read Spanish. And he starts going through it, and he's like, just going. He's like, I can't sleep. And he pauses, and he's like, thinks, and he goes, that's it. And calls Forrest Whitaker. And he's like, Forrest is like, what's going on? He's like, I figured it out, Nate. And he goes, Jesus, George, it's 3 a.m. He goes, I thought you were a farmer. Don't you guys wake up in the dark? He goes, that's if you have cows, George. I don't have fucking cows. He's like, look, I figured it out. And he goes, what? He goes, the rabbit. I know how it keeps getting in. He goes, what? He goes, when I built it deeper, I fenced him in. He's never left. He's just hiding somewhere in my garden. And he just hangs up on him, right? Cut to, he runs outside, and he opens the gate, and he grabs a seat, and he waits. Sure enough, the bunny runs out, sprints out.
Wow.
And he's like, amazing, right? Amazing. Just this little problem, just the little build that we're doing here. So the next morning, he's at work, and a guy comes in, and he's like, hey, yo, George, I really need my car back, man. Is there any way I can get it back today? Like, I need it back as soon as possible. I got some shit to do. And he goes, George is like, well, I need solar panels installed on my roof. The guys, and like, even everybody looks around, and they're like, what? And the guy's like, I don't know anything about that, solar panels. He goes, well, Charlie knows how to install solar panels. And he goes, and Charlie needs a well dug. So you help him build that well. He'll help me with my solar panels. I'll get you your car today. And the guy is like, okay. And he runs out, right? Right then another guy comes in. He's like, hey, I need my brakes fixed, yada, yada. And he goes, all right, we'll get that fix done. And he looks at the Tito guy, and he's like, Tito, ¿cómo estás? Ese queso, pero ese es leche. Esa leche, queso, pero es leche. And the guy's like,
there's a lot of milk.
A lot of milk, a lot of dogs. And the guy's like, that's what he said, though. He said fluent Spanish, like I just did.
Yeah.
Fluent Spanish. And the Tito dude is obviously looking at him like, and the other guy looks at him, and he goes, what the fuck? And the Tito goes, he speaks better Spanish than me. Because he says it like perfectly, whatever he says, right? So while he's down there fixing on the car, Sam, he's not looking. He's reaching for a tool.
Yeah. While
he's reaching, the tool starts moving.
Whoa.
Awesome,
so it's not just being smart.
Telekinesis shit.
What?
Sam, I told you weren't ready for this. But he doesn't see us. He doesn't know. And then it comes to him, but he has no idea. He just thinks he just grabbed it.
Yeah.
So he goes outside. He sees some kids playing in a truck. And he walks over. He's like, where's the owner of this vehicle? And they're like, our mom's inside. It's clearly the kids of the girl he likes.
Okay.
Like, he knows.
Yeah.
And he goes, how you doing, kids? I'm George. And then she's like, what's your names? And the little boy's like, I'm Al. This is Lori, little girl. The little kid's like maybe 8, 7. She's like 5, 4. So they're really cute.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, why don't you guys pop this hood? And he's like, you start this thing up? Can you start this thing up for me? The kid's like, yeah. And he tries to start it up. He's like, and he finally starts it up. And then the mom comes out. She's like, what are you guys doing? And then she slams it. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to help out. She's like, all right. She's like, I'm fine. I don't need your help. And she's like, we got to go. He's like, where are you guys going? Are you leaving town? I hope not. She's like, we're going to San Francisco for the day. He's like, well, if you need directions, ask me anything. I'll help you out. He's like, ask me anything. Oh, actually. And then.
Oh, wow. I wonder where this was.
What?
Because it's like they're not far from San Francisco.
I know. I should look that up. And then she's like, he goes, maybe I can come along with you guys. And then she goes, no, but let me tell you something. Everyone's talking about you inside. He goes, really? What are they saying? She said, everyone inside is going, I've known George my whole life. And if he says he saw a UFO, then that's what he saw. And she drives off. He goes, I didn't say that. but I mean, it could have been. And he kind of smiles. Cut to him. He's with the doctor.
Yeah.
And he beats him at chess again. And the doctor's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, something's up, George. And he's like, I know something is up, Doc. I can't stop. I can't go to sleep. I've been reading 2 books a day. And then everyone in the bar goes, what? He goes, yeah, ever since and then somebody goes, the sighting? He goes, it wasn't a sighting. It was just a light. And then somebody goes, and a boom. And he goes, oh, you heard it? He goes, no, that's just what you said. He goes, oh. And the doctor's like, George, I want you to come in for a physical because something's going on.
Yeah.
You're beating me at chess.
You're not allowed to be this smart.
You're not allowed to be this smart. We know you. Also, Sam, we've known you in 37 years. You've never left this small town.
Oof.
We know you.
Yeah.
So another guy runs outside as George leaves. He goes, George, did you say you're reading 2 or 3 books a day? And George is like, yeah. And the guy's like, about what? He goes, I don't know, about everything. He goes, why? He goes, well, I've always wanted to learn stuff. And he goes, and the guy's like what? He goes, I don't know, man. What have you ever wanted to learn? And the guy's like, he goes, why don't you think about that? And he walks off. And the guy's like, what the fuck? They just never bro, it's a small town, Sam.
Yeah.
So cut to him, he's getting help on the solar panels, and he gets wrapped up in them. Like he starts learning everything about them. He starts working on them like crazy. He starts building other stuff. And that Phil Collins song, the Phil Collins song, I Have the Touch, that song is playing while he's like figuring all this out. Sam, it's the most 90s shit. I have the touch.
Oh my God.
But his garden is super dope now.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking sick. He can't stop reading, Sam. He's just reading, going through books. He's not sleeping at all.
You can't sleep.
Can't sleep.
Oh wow, it's like Doctor Strange reading when he's in his like astral self.
It's on some shit like that. On some real shit, I was watching this. I was like, this is very Doctor Strange.
Interesting.
This nigga could be in Marvel. Because we're not even touching the surface on this nigga yet.
It'd be so cool if he was in Marvel. Like they just bring John Travolta in.
And he's just a regular guy. It's so nice from the 90s, the small town.
From the 90s.
So
he could still play that age.
He could. So we see Forrest Whitaker that night, and he's like doing he's on like a CB radio, like in his place. His place is a mess, and he's like Diana Ross. He's just doing all these different channels trying to get in contact with Diana Ross.
Insane.
Okay. So George brings him over the chairs, and he's like, yo, I think you'd like these chairs, yada, yada. He's like, I don't want these chairs, George. He's like, come on, man. He's like, George, they don't even go together. He's like, come on, you need a woman's touch. And he looks around, his place is so shitty. And he starts telling him about the solar panels that Nate gave him. Yeah. And he's going off about photosynthesis and how we're just scratching the surface with silicone cells and like yada, yada. And Forrest is looking at him, and he's getting like kind of sad. And he's like, what's wrong, Nate? And he goes, George, this nigga's such a good actor. He's like, you just talk so fast now, and you know so much. I don't know.
Huh.
Sam, you've been hanging with this nigga all this time, and now he's talking to you about silicone cells?
Why can't he talk about new stuff?
Sam, if I started talking to you about photosynthesis and how we're just scratching the surface and like silicone cells and like really telling you stuff about it, and I was building solar panels, you wouldn't be like,
yeah, pretty cool.
You wouldn't question me? This fucking idiot who doesn't know anything?
I would 100% question you, but at the same time...
I can barely address without you.
Yeah, but it's like, wow, look at you. Look how far you've come.
Wow, I love Sam. If Sam saw me going through this, she would just credit herself. She'd be like, all my hard work.
I know. First, I get you to pee inside the toilet. Next, you're creating photosynthesis in your garden.
This is how mean she is to me, y'all.
There's steps. You'll get there.
So he's looking at him like crazy. Like, damn, what the fuck? He's like, I'm sorry, Nate. I can't help it. He hears a sound on the radio, like maybe it's like a CB radio.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, what's that? He goes, oh, it's just Morse code. He goes, wait. He's like, He's like, that's going too fast. You can't hear that. And he keeps listening. He's like, no, that's a coded message. I can hear it. He goes, George, we should leave this alone, man. We're near an Air Force base. This might be a little too much. He goes, no, listen. I got to record this. And he records it. He's like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to answer it. They go, why? He goes, it just gives me something to do, Nate. And Nate's like, the fuck? He goes, Nate, I'm up 12 hours a night. I'm doing every crossword, and they're too simple. Nate, the crosswords are too simple. Nate's like, what? He goes, yeah, man, everyone else is asleep while I'm up, and I'm awake. And he's like, I don't know. And he goes, well, let's just, and then Nate goes, well, let's just go outside and box then. Maybe I can beat your ass, and that'll like snap you to it. He goes, no. Last time you really split me up. He goes, all right, let's just send a message back. And he goes, what do you want me to send? He goes, send, don't overwater the marigolds on Friday. We'll be watching. Like something about his garden, right? And they both laugh, and they're like, and then Nate's like, this is kind of cool. And he's sending it back to it, right? Whatever they just got this message from. This nigga's on some other shit, Sam. So cut to him late night. He's just reading math books, and he notices when he goes to turn the page, he doesn't even have to touch it.
Whoa.
He's like, he stops. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, nope, just static electricity, that's all. And he drops the books, and then he puts his hand out, and he lifts the book, and he's like, oh my God. And he runs outside, and he's like, someone's trying to tell me something. Oh my God. Obviously, because I would freak out too.
Yeah.
You just realize you're God or something. He goes and he sees the doc. And the doctor's like, so what's going on? He's like, how long you been feeling this way? And he's like, Doc, you know how long I've been feeling this way. He goes, everyone does. And he goes, it's been a month since my birthday. And what? He goes, I noticed something else. And he goes, what? He goes, well, watch your pen, Doc. Like the doctor's got a pen like this, and he just goes, and the doctor's like, and George is like, yep. He's like, that's telekinesis. He goes, yeah. Is that okay, Doc? He goes, do it again. And he does it, and then John Travolta gets really sad, and he goes, George, I consider myself a rational man. Man of science. But George, you're making me feel like a child right now. I feel scared. And he goes, me too. Bro, the acting's insane. It's Robert Duvall. Like, the acting's insane. And he goes, well, whatever it is, George, I promise we'll find it together. We'll figure it out together. He goes, okay. He goes, now. And he hands him the pen. He goes, please, do that one more time. And then even George like smiles really hard. He's like, okay. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, this is fucking crazy, you know? So cut to George as showing Nate, that he fixed his car so that it can run on pure methane from pig shit.
Ooh, yeah, cool.
But he did that.
That's insane.
Obviously, and he's showing him, Nate, and like his coworkers.
For good in the environment.
That's what he's doing. Yeah, it's
awesome.
Like, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, his coworkers are like, you did what? Because they're mechanics.
Yeah.
So they're like, he's like, I think I might have found something that we don't have to use gas. So right then, Lace is bringing in more chairs, right? Because he's like, oh man, all the other chairs sold. And he goes, here, have a tomato. He's like, I grew it right from my garden. She's like, it's huge. It's like really huge and beautiful. He's like, bite right into it. And he's like, I promise, bite right into it. And she does. And he's like, good, right? And she's like, oh my God. And he kind of wipes her chin. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, and she gets really uncomfortable. And he starts flirting with her. And she drives away immediately.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I got to get out of here.
Oh,
this
wow.
fucking guy.
Oh, wow.
Sam loves this kind of shit. This is why I did this movie for Sam. She loves the little back and forth.
Yeah. It's like them walking into big rooms and staring at each other from across the way.
Oh, yeah. So right then, when she drives off, he's just looking at her, like staring like that. And one of his other homies comes up and goes, George, what does she have besides uncomfortable chairs? And then he goes, my heart, amigo. My heart.
Wow.
So she's driving like away, and that song is playing. Every day is a, and she's like thinking clearly, like so 96. She's like clearly like, so like what do I do? As that every day is a winding road.
Yeah, why is that the song?
Because why wouldn't that be the song?
It's too upbeat. I feel like she should be in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. But no, it cuts to her, and then it cuts to him. He's following her a little bit, like tailing her.
Lame.
So he gets in his car and he heads to her place. And on the way there, he sees her kids outside playing. So he scoops them up. He's like, you guys want to ride? They hop in. And he has flowers for the mom on the thing. And one of the girls like, is that for my mom? And he's like, yep. And the little boy's like, did she invite you? And he doesn't say anything. And the little boy's like, right? So right there, he notices something. He stops. He's like, come on, kids. And he gets out the car. And he's like, they're like, what? He's like, blue. I didn't get any blue. And he runs all the way up the hill and they follow him. And he shows them this really beautiful blue flower. It's like, I didn't even notice that. Right? And he tells them like the name of it and what it is. And he starts telling them the name of all the flowers. And he starts laughing. He's like, isn't this crazy, kids? He's like, I can name flowers now. Just a month ago, I couldn't tell you what, like a flower, you know? And they're like, wow. So he goes to wrap them in like a bouquet. And then she's like, is that a garbage tie? He's like, yeah. She's like, oh. She grabs it from him. She's like 5.
Yeah.
She throws that down and she takes the ribbon out of her hair and she wraps it up. And he's like, so much better.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, damn, even I'm still wrong, you know? And so he gets to her crib and the mom is out back carving chairs. Like, she's making them by herself, like by hand.
What kind of chairs are these?
Like wicker chairs.
Oh. Wicker?
You know, like the little thin kind of wood? You know what it looks like? It looks like a wicker, like rocking chair.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like a one that's like a
Completely
thick
wicker.
wood like this.
No.
Yeah, one that's like wicker looking. I don't know how else to explain that. You know what I'm saying? That kind of wood where it's like thin looking.
It's thin wood.
Yeah, it's like almost
But is
like
it
looks like
woven
vines.
together?
Yeah, it looks like
wicker?
vines
Oh, yeah,
almost.
that's
You know what I
wicker,
mean? It's
that's
woven.
wicker.
It's all
Yeah,
woven
that's
together.
wicker. But they don't carve that. That would be.
I think she's doing like the base,
Oh, okay. I see.
and then around it you would wicker it. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
I never made one, but I'm assuming it's not all wicker, right? There
Doesn't
would be
seem
a
like
base.
it's an easy thing to do. I wonder how she's like making. Is he just buying her chairs, and that's the only way she makes a living?
So she's carving chairs, and he goes, "You didn't take enough tomatoes, so I had to bring you some more. I'm too proud of him to let him go away. Let him go to waste." And he puts them down. He goes, "And I got you these." And he holds up all the wildflowers. He goes, "This is every wildflower from my house to yours." And she's like, "The fuck?" Because that is a baller line,
Yeah.
right? And then he goes, "What you working on?" And she's like, "Nothing. Let's go for a walk." And he's like, "Sure." And they're walking, and he goes, "By the way, you have great kids." And she goes, "George, stop. First off, you don't know me. You don't know nothing about my kids." Like, she's like, yo, like, this woman's like, hey, like, quit with this whole.
He's so sweet.
Exactly, but
It's
she
so
ain't having
lame.
it. But she ain't having it, bro. And she's like, look, he goes, you don't know them, George, and you don't know me. And he goes, well, I'm trying to get to know you and them, right? And then she goes, look, George, I want a simple life. My life is simple right now. I don't like surprises. I don't like complications. And he goes, what happened to you, Lace? And her eyes kind of get big, and he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, that's not my business. I'm sorry. She goes, it's all right. It's all right. And she goes, let me ask you, George. When a man comes over with a basket full of tomatoes, what does he expect? Does he think he's getting dinner or something? And he goes, hopefully. Which is like, yo, what do you want me to say? I'm into you, bitch. So they start walking, and then he stops. He goes, whoa. She goes, what? He goes, you feel that? She goes, feel what? He goes, come here. He grabs her, and he brings her to an area. They're just like in the middle of like some trees, right?
Yeah.
He's like, you don't feel that. She's like, feel what? He goes, I think I know what that is. Can I use your phone? She goes, okay. He runs up. He makes a call. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know I picked up some activity. Yada, yada. He waits. And then he's like, oh, yes, is this the person? He's like, thank you. I've been waiting for a while. I just want to let you know I really did pick up some activity. And then he pauses. He's like, no, we didn't use any instrumentation. He pauses. He's like, no, I don't have a degree. He goes, are you shutting me down? He goes, look, I felt the compression waves. And then he says a bunch of scientific stuff. And he goes, and I think, and then they hang up on him. He goes, an earthquake is coming.
Oof.
And the mom is like looking at him, and she's like, all right. And she tells the kids all the nice stuff off the shelves and bash down, like, and like hash down everything. And so they do all that,
Yeah.
right? Cut to dinner that night. She lets him eat dinner. They're all at the table. It's quiet. He's like, this food is really good, Lace. You're a good cook. She's like, oh, stop. I only make 2 things well, pork chops and turkey. And he goes,
Who doesn't like turkey?
right?
Or pork chops?
Right? And he goes, well, which one is this? And then even the kids bust out laughing, right?
Yeah.
She smiles. And then everything starts shaking. And then they're like, huh, huh, huh. And then you see the little boy, and it's his hand, and he's just doing it.
Oh, funny.
And they all start laughing. So he leaves that night, and as he's walking away, he goes, can I say it now? And she goes, what? He goes, you really do have great kids. And she's like, ah. He's like, thanks for dinner. And he goes for a kiss, and she's like, and he's like, good night, Lace. He walks off. Not heard about it.
Wow.
Very much like our first thing. Not our first kiss. Our first kiss,
You
you
think
kissed
you're
me.
John Travolta?
Well, in this situation, because Sam asked me out. No, I asked Sam out, and she said no. And then what happened, baby?
You were a nice guy, and so I gave you a second chance.
I got a second chance.
I
That's
gave
how you
a
look at
chance.
it. That's how you look at it. So the mom comes inside, and the kids are like, "He's neat and he's nice." And then she's like, "I know, honey, kids, but the guy thinks he can predict earthquakes and he sees UFOs. So let's not." And then right then, the whole house starts shaking.
Wow.
And she's like, "Oh God, get in the truck, get in the truck!" And they all run in the truck and they hop in. Okay. They take off. They drive to his place. George gets home and he's like all happy. He looks at his dog. He's like, "You feel that? I called that. I called it." She pulls up right behind it and he looks at her. He goes, "You felt it, didn't you?" And she's like, "What is happening, George?" He's like, "I don't know." She's like, "What is happening?" He's like, "I don't know." She's like, "I need the truth, George. I need the truth. This is crazy." He's like, "This is the truth. Whatever is happening to me is the truth. And I don't know what it is." And she's looking at his house. And as she's looking, she notices her chairs are everywhere. Everywhere, surrounding the house. She walks up and she looks inside, and there's literally like a corner of the room that's just like maybe 20 chairs all like stacked together.
It's so many chairs.
Sam loves this. Sam loves this. How wet is your pussy in that moment?
Oh my God. No, I'm horrified. No one's buying my chairs.
Okay, that was her reaction. You would think your pussy would immediately get wet, but that's what she did. She immediately goes, he goes, "I love the chairs, Lace. I really do. And you made them. And that's why I like them so much. And I just wanted to see you and have a reason to talk to you every day." And she goes, "Bring them all back tomorrow. I'll give you all your money back." He goes, "I don't want my money back, Lace, please." And then she goes, "I only asked for one thing, George, the truth. And you couldn't even handle that." And she speeds off.
Oh my God.
So you would be mad too?
I don't know. Maybe mad, not mad, but I would be
Embarrassed?
so embarrassed.
Even though I clearly am in love with you.
Yeah, but I'm spending all this time making chairs.
Thinking they're getting bought, like, because remember, every scene so far, she's been like bringing him chairs.
So what does she think happened? Like he's reselling them?
No, she's just mad that he only was buying chairs to talk to her. And that I think, like you said, I think also she's also mad that she's like, "I suck at making chairs."
Yeah.
I think that hurts a little more.
That hurts. Also, you've
More
chosen
than your pussy's
to
wet?
make chairs, and you're like, "I can't even do this."
Yeah. You ain't wrong. You're wrong. So he goes to Forrest Whitaker's house and he shows him that, like, you know, like more stuff he heard from the Morse code, like listening to the radio. And he has him send another message. And he's like, "All right, whatever you want, George." And he's like, "Yo, I think, by the way, you should call Lace." He's like, No. He's like, "No, you should call her." And he's like, "Come on." He's like, "You should call her. You really like her. Mm-hmm. You messed up. It's all good." And he's like, "No, I gotta let her cool off. Maybe she needs a year. Then I'll talk to her again." And then he goes, "No, George, stop that. You need to call her right now." He goes, "Look who's talking. The Diana Ross fan club over here. You haven't said a word to a woman in 10 years. And then Nate's feelings get really hurt. And just from this scene, the acting, they don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You can tell he lost his wife.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like, bro, the acting, I know why my mom likes this movie, because it's like, it's a 90s movie and it has these cheesy moments, but these actors are so fucking good that it doesn't matter. You're like, wow. Because this nigga almost like tears up. And then also George is like, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that." And he's like, no, it's fine. And he's like, I'm just going through so much, buddy, and it's all so hard to handle. And he goes, "Look, we're all going through stuff, George." And he goes, "No, Nate, I'm really going through stuff." And Nate's like, kind of like, "We're all going through stuff, man." And then he goes, "Look." And then he gets a paper clip and starts spinning it in the air. And Nate's like, "What the?" He goes, "Are you magnetized?" And he goes, "I don't know, buddy. I wish I did know." Cut to next day.
Oh God.
No, it's not the next day. It's like later in the afternoon. We see the doctor pull up to some emergency, like like a siren's going off on his car, and he pulls up to a house, and it's like all this Mexican family's all there, and they're like, he's sick, and you see a man on the bed, and he's super sick, And they're like, this is our papa. He just came from Portuguese. He's new. He doesn't speak Spanish. He speaks Portuguese. And they're like, does anyone else here speak Portuguese? And they go, no, but we do know he's missing. Like his son is he came with a boy, and his son, like the boy's not here. Okay. And they're like, what? And they go, the boy's also sick. They definitely ate the same thing. And then he goes, get George O'Malley on the phone. That's the doctor. And they're like, what? Because they know him, obviously, in the town. Like, what do you mean get George O'Malley on the phone? He's like, get him on the phone and somebody get him a Portuguese book on the way here. Now. Right? So you see George is in his garden. The stuff he's growing is so big. Nate can't believe it. It's like, he's looking at it like, wow. And it looks natural and juicy, too. It's like, how are you doing this? Right then a car pulls up. And a guy goes, George Malley? He goes, yeah. He's like, I'm John, I'm from Berkeley. You called yesterday. And he's like, yeah, I did. I'm glad you came by. He goes, yeah, we're very interested in how you predicted that earthquake the other day. He goes, well, I was just standing on the faults and I picked up the waves. He goes, well, what did you use? He goes, oh, just me. And then Nate's like, why don't you show him how you can move stuff with your brain? He's like, chill, Nate. He goes, well, we've been studying this for a while and there's no recorded evidence of someone ever feeling an earthquake. He goes, well, now there is. And he takes a sip of his coffee. And he goes, well, we want you to come to Berkeley and explain how you did this, yada, yada. And George is so happy. He goes, well, can I meet with other departments while I'm there? And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, I have some other experiments as well. And then cut to, he brings him in the house, and it's just a full lab now.
Wow.
And he tells him how he grew this stuff with solar panels, and how he can, he figured out, a way to use natural sunlight by just building it, And then he figured out a way to make pig manure, a methane gas that can run a car. Yeah. And if he can get with your automotive team at Berkeley and all the different things at Berkeley. He's like, I'd like to meet with all the departments basically. And the guy is like, sir, I'm sorry. This all looks incredible. I'm just interested in the earthquake stuff. Okay. All we need to really know is if it's a fluke or not. And he goes, a fluke? And Nate's like, that's it. Show him how you can move shit with your mind. I like how because Nate's like, a fluke? Bro.
Yeah, this guy is just like a wizard out here now.
But also, because I like how he's just a normal person's reaction of oh, bro, fuck all this.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
This is baby shit.
That is crazy how it's like, yo, this guy's clearly solving all the world's problems in his house. Yet, if you could move stuff, Sam, if you were solving all the world's problems, but you could also move shit with your mind, no one would care that you can solve all the world's problems.
Well, let's focus on that.
Yeah, how are you moving shit with your mind? So he goes, damn. He goes, look, I need, and George's like, look, I need help. I need more people like you that I can talk to. I just need bigger labs. There's things I can do, right? And then right then you hear from somebody outside go, George, the doctor says, come now, it's an emergency. And he holds up a book, and you have to learn Portuguese. And then he looks at the professor, he's like, I gotta go. And he runs off, and the professor's like, what the fuck? He has to learn Portuguese. And then Nate's like, just go with him. He knows, just watch. So they go, and he's driving, and you see this nigga just going through the Portuguese book, and the professor's just looking at him like, the fuck is going on? Yeah. He's just reading this book. So they rush him inside, and then George is talking to the old dude, and the old dude tells him his grandson's missing. And then they're like, George, can you ask him where the boy is? And George asks him, he's like, oh, está con vos? And he's like, where is he? And the guy answers, and then George is like, he's in an orchard, the orchard field. And they're like, oh, wow. And they go, yeah, the granddad said they ate something bad. He said the boy is really sick.
Oh, no.
All right? They all everyone else in the room is like, George speaks Portuguese. As they normally would. Sam, everyone else is like, I've known this nigga 37 years.
When he starts speaking Portuguese.
He speaks Portuguese. And then somebody goes, George, you learned fluent Portuguese in 20 minutes? And he goes, well, I didn't learn all of it. And they're like, so the whole town, obviously, cut to, they're all running and screaming for this little boy. Alberto! Everyone's searching. George stops. Everyone's running one way. He stops and starts walking another way. He's like, The doctor notices George, obviously, and starts following George.
Yeah.
And as he gets closer, George's stomach starts hurting. Real bad. And the doctor's like, what's going on? George, what you got? He's like, he's not in the orchard. He goes, but doc, he's really sick. He's over there. They start walking. As they start walking, the rest of the town gets behind George. Like, oh shit, George clearly knows something. He drops to his knees and like, George, are you okay? He goes, it's not me, it's him. And they go, what? And they go, where is he, George? And he points at like something, and it's like all this wood covering something. And as he points, all the wood starts shaking, and all of it falls, and you see a ladder. They run over to the ladder, they climb up, and the little boy's there. And he's just sick as fuck.
Oh.
Right? And they're like, he's here. The professor is watching all this, can't believe his eyes. Obviously. He's like,
What is happening? What is this?
Also, this nigga did tell me he found an earthquake, but now you don't have to question, like, oh.
Like, this is bigger than earthquakes.
This is bigger than earthquakes. We found God. We found Jesus.
So he's an angel.
He is an angel.
He's always an angel.
Yeah, we did say that. We said he's an angel in every movie. So the professor cuts to, he's talking to George a little bit later, and he goes, so Wednesday, 2:00, is that good? Can you meet up with everybody? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, and you'll have someone from automotive? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, and someone from fertilizer? He goes, we'll take care of everything. Everyone will be there. Like, obviously, like, bro.
Yeah. We're bringing everyone. We're putting you
Center
in an
stage.
auditorium.
Yeah, in this auditorium, in every department, not only from our school, from every other top school.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be there. And then the town, is he leaves all, like, the guy leaves all happy. George turns around, he looks at the town. They're all looking at him, obviously, like a monster.
Yeah. They're like, this is wrong. Some demon.
Yeah. So the mom of the sick boy shows up, and she's like, they tell her what was going on. She didn't know. She starts bawling. She was like, I was out looking for work. I know, right? She's like, oh, they get you immediately. And she's crying. And then she goes up to George, and they tell her, like, George, like, help save your boy. She gives him a big hug. She's like, thank you. She's like, let's get you to the hospital. And then the doctor takes, the mom to the hospital. And George thinks for a second. And he goes, does anyone know what kind of work she was looking for? And one of the guys in the family goes, housekeeper, cooking and stuff. And he goes, huh. And they go, you know someone looking? Cut to, he goes to Nate.
Oh.
This dude knows everything.
Yeah.
He goes, Nate, I found you a housekeeper. Portuguese woman, cooks, cleans, everything. He goes, oh, I don't want her in the house. I can't be eating no Portuguese food. He goes, Nate, she'll cook whatever you want. She's just Portuguese. And he goes, oh, she speak English? He goes, a little bit, but we're going to work on your Portuguese. That's what really matters. He goes, oh, come on, man. I'm not learning Portuguese. That shit won't work. And he goes, let's just try. All right? How about this? And he holds up a tape recorder. And he goes, how about, can you come twice a week? And he hits the record button. And then George says it in Portuguese. And then he says, now you know how to say it. Just record that. And you say that. But when he says it, he goes, let's try it. But when he says it, he doesn't say, let's come twice a week. Like, how about twice a week? He says, your face, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. That's what he said. He goes, all right. And then so Nate says it back. He goes, what else do you want to say? He goes, how about how much per day? And then George goes, your face. He says it like, Alexa. And it really just says, your face is like a poem.
Wow.
And Nate's like, all right, awesome. Right? And he goes, good. Now you'll be good at now you'll know Portuguese. And he goes, thanks, man. Right? Cut to Lace is putting her kids to bed, and they're reading books like about UFOs. And the little boy goes, are you still mad at him, Mom? And she goes, I don't know. And he goes, he saved that little boy. And he's funny. And the little girl goes, and he's neat. And she goes, look, we're not talking about men tonight. We have enough to worry about. And the little boy goes, we aren't that little, So the little boy shows her this report that he wrote, and it's all about aliens and George O'Malley, right? And he goes, Mom, why do you hate him so much? She's like, honey, it's because I like him so much. She goes, and if he was here, it's just too much. We'd be wondering the whole time, what's he going to do? What's he thinking? When's he going to leave?
Oh.
And she goes, we don't need that in our lives, do we? And the little boy's like, no.
Oh.
Dad left. I love how they said everything without having to say anything.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of movies mess up.
Yeah, less is more.
Less is more. Give me the room to wonder.
Or show me the situation. Don't tell me the situation.
Show me the situation, and I'll put two and two together.
Yeah. I'm not stupid.
So, they're in the bar. Like the town's in the bar, and they're all talking about George. And George walks in, and everybody kind of gets quiet, and they all kind of surround him. And he's just trying to get a beer. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "So George, how'd you feel that earthquake? Did the voices tell you?" He's like, "What? No voices told me." And they go, "What else do you know, George? And he goes, "What do you mean?" And they go, he goes, "Well, I know." He looks at one guy. He goes, I know you're on the outs with Lisa. And he's like, oh, I am. How'd you know that? He goes, because your clothes aren't matching, man. And he looks down. He's like, oh. And he's like trying to talk to him normal, but they won't stop bothering him.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, they go, like, George, you know what's going to happen? He goes, no. And they go, but they say you're reading like 4 books a day now. And he goes, I think I better get out of here. How many languages can you speak now, George? And he just kind of leaves. And he's like, what the fuck, you know? So he goes and he sees Lace. And he's like, Lace, I'm sorry I lied to you about the chairs. I just wanted you to come to my shop. And I wanted you to talk to me instead of walking away all the time. She goes, what do you want, George? He goes, I want you to come to Berkeley with me. He goes, really? She goes, yeah, they want me to come and talk about all my experiments. And I'm excited, but I'm also scared. And I'd sure like it if you were there. And she goes, for what? He goes, for support, for confidence, for a friend to be there. And she's like, oh, you got plenty of friends, George. He goes, no.
God, they're so cute.
He goes, no, not since that orchard thing. He goes, people are real different now. The only person, you say, you're the only person that's still kind of mad at me in this town. And he goes, and I want to make and she goes, what are you trying to do? Make up? You want to go on a date with me? He goes, yeah, I'd like to make up with you. I want to date with you. I want you by my side when I'm at that school. And then he goes, isn't that crazy? Me speaking out of school? My whole life I was in detention. And she goes, when is it? He goes, Wednesday at noon. She goes, okay. I'll be here at like 11 p.m. And that'll let you know if I'm going. And if I'm not here, that's it. He goes, okay, done deal. Right? So we see Nate. He's blasting Diana Ross. Mm-hmm. Knock at the door. It's the Portuguese lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you Mr. Pope? I'm Machiella. He goes, he's all like, huh? She's really beautiful. He's like, hi, hi. He goes, I'm sorry. And she looks at his place and she's like, so this is the place. She goes, you know, I cook too. You need cooking? He goes, yes. And she goes, well, how much are you going to pay me? And he's like, wait, actually, I know that one. You know, I speak a little Portuguese. And she goes, oh, and she starts speaking in Portuguese. He's like, whoa. Not like that.
Yeah.
But it sounds great, though. And she goes, okay, I come tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I come back. I work, and then we talk money. He goes, okay, but. And then he goes, like your face is like a poem.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, that's all I really know. And she's like, you're cute. And he's like, his eyes get big because he's like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'll see you tomorrow. And she leaves. And he goes, okay, tomorrow then. And he goes back inside and he gets on his radio and he goes, Diana Ross, if you can hear me and you're out there, I'm sorry, but I know you'll understand. I just met an angel. And she's from Portugal in my house. Bro, you love this guy.
Oh my God. It's so cute.
So George gets to his house.
This is too much love.
There's a lot of love.
Why am I going to cry?
Because George gets to his house.
No.
And there's police and FBI everywhere.
What are they doing? Is this like E.T.?
And they're taking all of his shit. Is this like E.T.?
That was my least favorite. It was always scary when they put up the tents, you know, at the end.
Oh, yeah, because it gets real.
Yeah.
It's also what they would do in real life.
Oh.
So they're like, you George O'Malley? Yeah. I'm Jack Hatch, FBI. And then they go, Nate Pope sent a coded message to our Air Force base. He goes, no, I did it. It had nothing to do with Nate. And they go, well, who taught you that cipher? Who trained you? And he goes, nobody. And they go, And then cut to, we see Nate in the holding cell and him in the holding cell.
Oh, wow.
They sit George down and have him listen to another one. And he's like, I don't know what it is. And they go, really? He goes, yeah, it's too complex. I just don't know. And they all right, well, try another one. And he's like, and he's like, I can't figure it out. And they go, you know you can figure it out. He's like, look, just, let me just, he's like, it wasn't even that serious. It was just a game. It wasn't that big of a deal. And they go, a game? You made us scrap our entire cipher system. You cost the government a lot of money. He's like, well, just bill me then. And they're like,
Whoa.
And so they make him do it again. They're like, decipher this one. He's like, Cut to the FBI discussing, what they should do. And they're like, well, we can't keep holding him. And they're like, yeah, we can. We can say he resisted arrest. They're like, well, he didn't. They're like, yeah, we can. Test that motherfucker. Cut to him getting tested, right? And the guy's like being really nice to him. They're like, all right, Mr. George, we want you to name as many mammals as you can in 60 seconds. And George is like, well, how would you like me to do that? And the guy's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, did you want it in like alphabetical order? And the guy's like, what? And he starts saying every mammal in alphabetical order. And the guy can't believe it. And he goes, well, okay, let me ask you this. How old is a person born in 1928? And the guy goes, and George goes, well, man or woman? He goes, why? He's like, well, I need specifics, Bob. He goes, okay, a man. He goes, well, is the man still alive? And the guy's like, yes. He goes, well, what month was he born? He's like, October 3rd. He goes, what time? 10 p.m. He goes, where? He goes, anywhere. He goes, well, you have to get specific because if he was in California, that means he was born this time. And he says the exact day, age, to the month, to the date, to the exact minute and second. He goes, but if he was born in California, it means this. And the guy's like, the fuck? And then right then, he starts moving a pencil back and forth, like with his telekinesis. And the guy's like, how are you doing that? He goes, what do you mean? With the pencil, how are you doing that? He goes, oh, nothing. I'm just, I guess, if I had to describe it, I'm asking it to move.
Whoa.
And the guy's like, what? He goes, I guess you could say I'm willing it, but a will is more of a command. And this is more of like a collaboration with me and the pencil. He goes, with you and the pencil? He goes, why not? We're all made of the same stuff. Wood? Energy, Bob. We're all made of energy. As he's just moving this pencil back and forth. And he goes, Bob, I want to go home. How the hell can I get home, Bob? Please. Cut to Lace. She's waiting for George by the truck.
Oh my God, no. This is how it always is. They always think that she's like, oh, he doesn't actually love me. I was right all along about how it is about men.
Yep.
It's the moment where he can't prove himself.
Dude. And it's not his fault.
It's never
It's
his
never
fault.
their
It's
fault.
Never
It's
their
never
fault.
the guy's fault. And Sam, if you're ever mad at me, remember this.
It was never your fault. How could it be?
How could it be, boo? I'm John Travolta.
You're gay?
Me no. So the FBI comes in. And they're like, George, you haven't slept. And he's like, I'm all right. They go, you're a gifted man, sir. And we were hoping that maybe you could use some of that gift with us. And then George is like, for intelligence? He's like, no. It's home for me. I'm jumping out of my skin. I can't be here. And then he goes, the FBI agent's like, well, we can't let you go just like that. He goes, what do you want? He goes, what do they? He goes, it's not what I want. It's what they want. They want to feel safe. And they don't feel safe upstairs with you out there in the world. Which is true. They know too much about him. And then he goes, well, why would they? He goes, look what you guys are doing. You got me listening to codes, things that from Saudi Arabia to Britain. He's like, you think I couldn't hear that? I heard it. It's like, that's not stuff I should be listening to. That's insane. He goes, and if you guys keep me here, just so you know, I'm going to tell the press. I'm going to tell them everything that you're doing in here.
Oof.
And they're like, oh, shit. Cut to the professor saying they want George for science. So the FBI, not intelligence. And the FBI guy's like, we don't care. He's a security risk. We're going to have him. We will have him for anything we need him for. And since your university has to do with stuff that with the FBI, we can tell you that you can't see him. He's ours.
Huh.
All right. The professor's like pissed because they're stopping like
Yeah.
some
All
of the
this
greatest science known to man.
Uh-huh.
So, which is what they would do.
Of course.
He has telekinesis power, Sam. That's too much.
Yeah, if you ever develop telekinesis, keep it to yourself.
Oh, you got to keep it to yourself.
Yeah, that's a you thing. You only do it in your own home when your phone's not facing you.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
That was the lineup tonight. So
Nice.
George calls Lace. Well, I mean, he gets out and he goes straight to Lace. And he tells her, I'm so sorry, like knocks on her window. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. He's like, I'm so sorry I didn't come. I didn't mean it. She's like, it's all right. Nate called me and he told me everything. The FBI got you. She's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, they're really watching me close. I think I scare him. She's like, you scare me.
Oof.
And she's like, George, this is getting a little complicated. I don't know what's going to happen next. And he goes, I guess I should leave you alone. And she's like, I guess so. And he's like, bye. He walks away. She's clearly so in love with this nigga.
Yeah.
He goes to the bar. He sits down with Nate. And he tells Nate, I'm so sorry for what happened. I didn't mean to get you involved with all that. And Nate like starts apologizing to him like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I told him everything about you, bro. Everything. And I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh.
Nate, It's my fault. It shouldn't have been in that position. He goes, what did they do to you, George? He's like, they tested me. And then right then, everyone else in the bar goes, well, what did they find out? And he looks around. He's like, they found out I'm pregnant. And they go, really? And he goes, it's how I feel, to be full of all these ideas and not be able to deliver. I feel like I need to break out and I can't deliver. This professor, I've been calling him. He won't call me back. And then Nate's like, I'm sorry, buddy. He goes, they go, so wait, George, you have inventions? And he's like, no, I have ideas. He goes, I have holy cow ideas. I have small ideas. And they go, what do you mean? He's like this, and he looks at the bar owner. He's like your parking lot. If you do this, and he shows him exactly how to do his parking lot. He's like, you can have 6 more cars in there. And Bonnie, if you delivered your mail with this route, you'd deliver everyone's mail at 3 p.m. and you'd be done earlier. And he goes, and this other idea, where I don't know, it'd be a way to sufficiently store the most energy that we ever have. He goes, I have all kinds of ideas. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And they go, he goes, you guys want to know what that light was? And they go, what was it, George? He goes, it was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened to me. It should have happened to someone smarter. Not me, not George O'Malley. Now look at him. And he looks in the mirror. Look at him. And when he points, the mirror breaks and shatters. And the bar freaks out.
Yeah, because he's like a fucking god.
He's like, I'm sorry. I'll pay for that. And then he leaves and everyone's like, he's like, oh man. And he just runs out.
Yeah.
Right? So at work, a guy, the big Mexican guy, tells him like, hey, another guy quit. He said he doesn't want to work with you. He said he's scared of you. Right then the doctor comes in and he's like, Doc, things are getting out of hand. He goes, I know everyone he said, everyone's telling me to come check on you because of what you did at the bar. He goes, I'm sorry, I was mad. And then he goes, well, George, let me tell you this. You owe me a CAT scan. I want some more of that blood. And I got to test you, make sure you're all right.
Yeah.
He goes, everyone's in this town, they're looking at me like I'm a bug or something, like they don't know me. And he goes, well, maybe everyone just needs to meet the new George. He goes, yeah, and I can like have he goes, there's the library fair, the library's like having a fair, and maybe I can hold like court there and everyone can meet me and I can share all my ideas and we can just talk. And he goes, exactly, George, but see me about that CAT scan first and breathe in, out, okay? Cut to, you see George is unraveling. He's in the garden, he's losing his mind. Lace is with her kids. What her son shows her like a piece of the mirror that he bought like at the school, and everyone's like talking about him in that way. Like they're freaking out, right? And the town has all these theories and yada yada. And the mom's like, well, it's not nice to talk about him like this. And he goes, why? He goes, you remember when Dad left? He goes, yeah. She goes, remember how everyone in the town treated us differently and talked about us? And that's why we left? And he goes, yeah. He goes, and a lot of those people were our friends, weren't they? And he's like,
aww.
He's like, all right, so that's why we can't do that. So you see Lace, she comes to see him. He looks like shit. He looks like shit and he's in his house. He's like, Lace, I was just calling you. He's like, come inside. He's like, I'm so glad you came. She goes, why were you calling? He goes, I found something out. Things are so clear. I'm going to talk to the people. I'm going to talk to them at the library fair and they're all going to listen. And she goes, can I get you something? And he goes, what? Yeah, you can get me anything. No, he goes, can I get you something, Liz? And she goes, yeah. He goes, what? I'll get you anything. And she goes, some scissors. And she shaves him up and a sweet music plays. She cuts his hair because he looks like shit.
Okay.
He's just like, he's losing his mind.
Yeah.
He hasn't slept. He's unraveling. You know? The most 90s shit ever. Like sweet music while she's like shaving his head and they like kind of kiss.
So gross. The lighting's like really soft.
Super soft.
They're both, one of them's wearing denim.
Yeah, she is.
Of course.
He leaves. You know, she goes to leave. He's like, you coming back? And she nods. And he's like, I hope so. She smiles, right? Cut to the library fair. The whole town's there. George gets there. The whole town surrounds him. The FBI's there too. All right? The doc starts cracking jokes, kind of making things light. He cracks jokes too. While he's talking, the news shows up. They go, George, he's sitting in front of a bunch of books, and he says it's all the books that he's read in the last like 2 months. Or however many months it's had. And it's like...
stacks.
Oh, it's crazy. And they go, George, how do we know you read all these books? And then he goes, well, just ask a question about them. And then another guy goes, how'd you break the mirror, George? He goes, look, well, I wanted to talk to you about that. I know you guys have all been worried, and everyone starts getting closer. And he's like, this is what I wanted to show you. And he starts spinning the glasses with telekinesis. He has these glasses. and he's spinning him, and he lifts him in the air. The news is freaking out.
Yeah, because they haven't seen this part yet.
No.
The witchcraft.
Yeah, everyone's like, what the fuck? Right? And they're like, how are you doing it? He's like, guys, it's just a partnership of energy. And they're like, well, why can't we do it? He's like, maybe you're not focused. Maybe the clarity of thought. And they go, maybe we're not UFOs. And they're like, what? And he's like, where are they? And he goes, where's what? He goes, you know something. He goes, this began when you saw that object in the sky. He goes, no, it was light. He's like, well, can you explain? And he's trying to explain to him energy, and everyone's just yelling at him.
Yeah.
And they're moving closer and closer to him.
Oh, no.
Right? And then he goes they're like, you're hiding something. Tell us what you know. Right then someone brings their sick son up, and he's like, please. And he's really like, it's for real. Please help my boy. My boy is dying. Please touch him. I know you can help him. Please, I brought him to you.
Whoa.
Sam, this would happen.
Insane.
Because if your son was dying and you heard about this guy saving this little boy.
It's Jesus.
Also, Sam, you wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
wouldn't give a fuck. You would be like, bro, please.
Yeah.
He's dying. He has cancer. Like, you see this sick little boy too.
Oh.
And he's like, I can't. He's like, sir, I can't. And he touches the little boy and he passes out immediately. And then he looks up in the sky, bam, another bright light. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Cut to, he wakes up in the hospital. Mr. O'Malley, you all right? He's like, yeah. They give him a CAT scan. The doctor walks in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, doc. The doctor looks sad as shit. He's like, what's the matter? He's like, George. He's like, no more tests on me, huh? He's like, no more tests. He goes, George, how'd you get your heart pressure to come down? Like your heart and your blood pressure to come down? He goes, I don't know. I just thought about it long and found my pace. He goes, you think you can explain more to me? He goes, I think I could explain more to you, but I think you could explain to me why you're stalling. He goes, I'm not stalling, George. I'm waiting. He goes, what are you waiting for? He's like, reinforcements. Right then, Lace comes in and Nate comes in. He's like, well, you picked some good people. Nate can't look at him. He's really sad.
Uh-huh.
The doc is like, George, there's a tumor in your brain. You weren't ready for this. And it's spread out over your whole brain like a hand. But instead of destroying your brain, it's stimulating it. And we can't understand that. Your brain is, the way it's working, it's waking up areas no brain has ever used before. Mm-hmm. And it's just a big mystery. And then right then John Travolta goes, and it's killing me, huh? And Nate just starts crying.
Ooh.
Just starts bawling.
Oh, dude.
Sam!
He got a tumor from the light in the sky?
It awoke everything in his brain. Like, you know how we only use, like 10% of our brain or some shit?
Yeah, but was the tumor from the light, or was the tumor always growing there and then it initiated
Great
this?
Question. I don't know. That's a great fucking question.
And the light is a way that he just internalized the situation.
Bet money until this is a book.
Oh, 100%. Has to
I
be,
bet
right?
this is a book. And I bet you we can find that out.
Okay.
If this isn't a book, I'd be very surprised and very impressed with the writers because this is a simple story that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's almost as good as him being an angel.
Almost. I like this better. So Nate's crying, and the doctor's like, we got a call from the best brain people in the world. They want to study and do tests on you, and they want to talk to you. They go, your blood flow's in danger, and you may black out a lot. God damn it. The doc starts getting sad. He's like, you know when you broke your leg 25 years ago when I met you? Like when you were older, and I patched you up? And I'm going to tell you something, George. You got into my heart more than most. And for a man who's never been a father, I sure feel like I'm losing a son right now. Yo, Robert Duvall's acting his ass off, bro. Just one tear coming down. And then Nate goes, George, is there anything I can do for you? And he tells him, I want you to manage my crops. And on this certain field, I want you to grow corn. He's like, but nothing grows there. He's like, I know, but I already did all the math. Corn can grow there. Trust me on this. And Nate's like, okay. And Nate and Doc leave, and it's just him and Lace. And she's like looking at him, and she's like, nah, he didn't say how long. And no, he goes, the doctor didn't say how long, you know. Who knows? And she's like, he did. Days or weeks. They don't know.
Wow.
He goes, Lace, I know you hate surprises. She goes, I tried so hard not to love you. And he's like, bruh, this nigga says, will you love me the rest of my life at least? And she goes, no, I'll love you the rest of mine.
Oh,
Bruh.
dude.
A bar. That's a bar. Got her. She's crying. Boom. That's a bar, though. I almost got myself.
Why?
That's such a bar.
Why?
Sam said, why? Because this is the kind of the movies the 90s was making.
You're right.
At least it's
if
original.
it wasn't this, it was like you were sleeping with someone who was beating you.
Yeah, it was either that or that. Yeah, or you're getting raped in prison, or you're getting raped in a Pulp Fiction scene. Lots of rape too. Lots of good 90s stuff.
90s was a dark time.
Just better time
better
for
some
movies
might
for
say.
sure. Best movies were in the 90s.
The 90s had some great movies.
Best movies.
We took everything we learned in the 80s.
We made it better.
Perfected it in the 90s.
Goddamn right. And then in the early 2000s, we lost it. And then I think in the 2010s, there are a lot of good movies again. Because people like Jordan Peele and people like Tarantino keep it alive.
The 2000s were a better
Christopher
time
Nolan.
for comedy movies.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not talking comedies. I'm talking about just movies.
Yeah.
So right then the doctor comes in to see George, like this other doctor. And he goes, George, I'm recording this conversation because I'm about to ask you some important questions. And then George is like, oh, God, not another test. He's like, no tests. This is just a dialogue. I'm going to ask you if you can let my team do open brain surgery on you. And he's like, but you already said this tumor was inoperable. He's like, yes, the odds are 500 to 1 that you live, but what I'm explaining to you is not a life-saving operation. This will be an expedition, a voyage of discovery. You can contribute as much to our knowledge that we have now as any man or woman before you in human history. And if you wait until I'm, and he goes, and then George goes, but if I wait until I'm done with my brain, the doctor goes, that's fine. And then George goes, but it's not as useful, is it? And he's like, no, it's not. And he goes, and if you do this operation, it's going to most likely kill me? And the doctor's like, yes. He goes, but what I'm asking you, George, is to see the larger picture. You can be our greatest teacher ever, George. He goes, and I can be your biographer. I can present you to the world for the rest of mankind. And he goes, yeah, but that's not me. You're just presenting my brain. And he goes, doctor, you ever think that I might have something to say in my last hours? I might have something that I want, you know? And he goes, you're saying I have something to teach, yet you just want to end me and study my brain? He goes, well, I mean, sir, you're no scholar. He goes, no.
What's happening now?
He goes, no, I'll tell you what I think I am, though. I think I'm anyone that, he goes, I think I'm every man. He goes, I think I'm anyone. He goes, I think what happened to me could have happened to anyone. Mm-hmm. That he goes, and that tumor, all it did was help me get here. I'm just a possibility. He goes, you have a hand in, he goes, you can have a hand, sir, in science and technology for the rest of the future. He goes, yeah, but let me tell you something. If I had to choose this tumor over that flash of light, I would. Because the human spirit is not about the challenge and the voyage. You know, he goes, science isn't about the challenge and the voyage and the expedition. The human spirit is about the challenge and the voyage and the expedition. So I need my rest, and I'm going to go home. So the doctor is like pissed. He leaves.
Yeah.
Cut to, he's in a courtroom. All right? And you see our doctor come in, and he's like, what did you do? And he's like, don't worry about it. It's already done. He's like, George now is our surgical patient, and that's what the judge declared it, and that's what it is. And he goes, what? That's bullshit. You did it off the pretenses that you could just prolong his life. He goes, maybe. I'm going to try. He goes, but that's bullshit. He goes, if he was a rational man, he would choose this. This is for the betterment of mankind. And he goes, now I know why you surgeons wear masks to hide what's fucking behind you.
That's
like hide what's really
crazy.
there. Fucking crazy. But I get it. This dude is like, yo, this guy what we can learn from this brain could change everything.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
They're both being selfish.
Well, also, I mean, he's still a human being.
He's a human being.
He has free will.
But him giving his brain could change human history.
Yeah, but if this didn't happen, they wouldn't have had the opportunity in the first place.
Yep, and that's not how he wants to go out.
Yo, why can't he just end his life in peace? He's dying.
Sam, I agree. But it is crazy to know that you could help human history.
Yeah.
But I guess in your head, you're smart enough to know that, like, oh, it's going to help itself.
Yeah.
So, cut to the doc. He's at the bar late night. He's pissed. He's drinking. And everyone else down the other end of the bar, they're discussing George and, like how he thought he knew all this stuff, but I guess he really didn't. And really all he did was just study hard and how it was really just a magic trick and all this stuff. And he made us think he changed, but he didn't change at all. Right, Doc? He never got any smarter, right?
Oof.
And the doctor looks at him and he goes, how's your lady love? Remember earlier the guy with the mismatched clothes? And he goes, oh, we broke up. He goes, really? That's too bad. George, even going through what he's going through, has a lady by his side right now. And she's going to stick with him. And you want to know why? He's looking at the doc. He's like, it's because he bought chairs. And the guys are like, what? He's like, chairs. He bought her chairs. And every girl on planet Earth needs someone to buy her chairs. And they're all like, Doc's talking crazy. Doc, you don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, did you ever figure what your girl's chairs are? Did you? Did you ever even try to figure that out? Nope, you didn't. And let me tell you something. You're right. George never changed. He's still George. And they're like, looks like Doc ain't making no sense tonight. Probably caught what George has. And they all laugh. And he takes his glass and he breaks it. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? What are you so afraid of, huh? You people have to tear him down. What, so you can sleep better at night? So you can sleep knowing that the world is flat? Is that what you need, to know the world is flat? To hell with you. And he runs away. Like, he runs out, pissed. Which he's right. It's like, these are the people that have to think the world is flat. Like, those people, like, well, you can't know the world is round because then I'm stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe you're stupid.
Damn. Oh my God, this guy's gonna die.
Cut to George in his hospital bed. And he's talking to his nurse. She's really nice. He's being a sweet dude, and she gives him a pill, and he acts like he eats it, but he doesn't. She walks out. He takes the pill out, and he takes out like the pills from the last 3 days. And he opens them up, and he puts them in his pudding. Stirs it all up. Then he calls in the guy that's supposed to be watching him, and like, he's a nice guy. And the guy's watching, they're talking, and he gets him to eat the pudding, and the guy passes out. He switches clothes with him. He puts him in the bed, and he strolls out right past the FBI. No one even sees him.
So smart.
Cut to the police. They're all looking for George. Like, now everyone knows he's gone, right? The doc finds out, and he's like, smiles, okay? George is at Nate's house, and he gives him all this stuff. He's like, yo, I want you to give this to the doctor, and all this stuff right here, this is for you. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, this is just for you. He's like, all right, do you want me to drive you to Laces? He's like, no chance. They might stop us. They hug. He takes off running.
Oh my God.
He gets to Lace's house. She runs out. She hugs him. Cut to the next morning. He's out with the kids, and he's working on the mom's car, and they fix it up. And the kid looks at him, and he's like, what? And the kid's like, did you come here to die? And he's like, yeah. And the kid starts bawling and takes off running. He's like, but I love this place. I love the people here, right? The kid runs up to the fence, and he's crying like this. George comes up behind him, and he goes, and the little girl's he's holding her hand. He goes, Al, he has an apple. He goes, if we were to put this apple down and leave it, it would spoil and it'd be gone. But if we take a bite of it like this, it becomes a part of us forever. And we take it with us for the rest of our lives. He looks at the little girl and she smiles and she bites it. And then he gives it to Al.
That's too much.
Look at Sam.
Kids.
And he bites it, and he grabs Al, and he goes, Al, everything is on its way somewhere. Everything, okay? And he smiles, and he bites it, right? Right then, the FBI car pulls in. Mm-hmm. They all hide. George and the kids are gone. The mom comes out, and she's like, can I help you? And he's like, ma'am, we're looking for George. And she's like, what's the point? Why not just leave him alone? He's like, ma'am, it's not my call. She's like, well, I haven't seen him. He starts checking around. He clearly sees that he's there. Like, he just notices things.
Yeah.
And then she's like, sir, what's your first name? He's like, it's Jack, ma'am. She's like, Jack, how do you want to die? And he looks at her. She goes, how would you want to die, Jack? And then he looks at his partner and he's like, come on. He's not here. Let's go. They leave. So Lace, she finds him and he's up writing by a tree. You see him like by a tree, he's by himself. She's like, what you working on? He's like, nothing. She's like, the doctor's coming tomorrow. He's like, yeah. She goes, you scared? He's like, no. She goes, God, I just wish I knew what you feel. He goes, oh, you do. You've always known what I feel, Lace. He goes, you want to look what I made back there? And she turns around and it's a blanket laid out. She goes, you expected to get lucky? He goes, no. Just hoping I was. Cut to, they start making out hard. And that song, Have a Little Faith in Me. It plays as they make love on the blanket.
Oh, so 90s.
So nice. Like, yo, this movie's so heartfelt. It's like, why would you put this moment here? We can assume they're going to make love.
Oh my gosh, they're both so white on top
So
of each
white
other.
on this blanket,
oh my God.
under a tree.
Like no tan lines.
So that night, they're laying in bed, and he's kissing all over her neck. He's like, ooh, I've never kissed you there. She goes, oh, are you keeping track? He goes, I have to. And then she's like, you going to sleep? He goes, no. He goes, are you going to sleep? She goes, no. She goes, I don't want to. She goes, I don't want to sleep unless you're sleeping. And then she's trying not to cry. She goes, I don't want to miss anything. And he grabs her. He's like, sweetheart. She goes, honey, you have to listen to me now. She goes, what? He goes, it's happening. She goes, no, George. He goes, honey, wait. She goes, wait. He goes, honey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. She goes, George, it's okay. Goodbye, honey. And he dies in her arms, just like that. She's like, George, wait. Goodbye. Bro, right? Sam.
What are they trying to do to people?
In the 90s, they were losing their fucking minds, bro. What were they doing?
They were losing. Every movie in the 90s would be a Lifetime movie now.
Oh, this is a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
But if you don't cry at Lifetime movies, what's going on with you?
Oh, do you remember Lifetime movies used to be really good like this too?
Oh, yeah. This is a great movie.
This is great.
So the professor comes the next morning, the professor from Berkeley. And he goes, hey, George told me to come by this morning. Can I talk to him? And she's like, I'm sorry, John, but he passed away last night. And he's like, oh, so sorry. She goes, but he did leave you these. And she hands him a stack of notebooks. He's like, and she's like, he said they aren't finished, but you could do it. He's like, I'll do my best, ma'am. Thank you. He leaves. She sits in one of her chairs and just loses it. Just holding onto the chair, right? Just like rocking. Because obviously the chairs how do you even make another chair after this guy?
Yeah.
And the kids come out.
Who's going to buy her chairs?
The kids come out, bro. They bring her tea, and they're all just hugging and crying. Fade out. 1 year later. Huge cornfields. You see Nate going through them.
Oh, wow, because he could grow corn there.
He told him. And he's with the Portuguese woman and her son, and she's pregnant.
Oh, Nate.
All right, they're a little family now. They go into town. They get to the bar. They're all still celebrating George's birthday like they did last year.
Oh.
Oh, bro, it hits you hard. It's good, dude. And the whole bar celebrating. You see Doc playing chess with Lace's son. Lace is there. The camera zooms in on everyone's celebrating in the bar, and there's just a picture hung up of George, and he's all like,
"Oh,
phenomenon."
That's how it ends. How would they do that? What sicko? Is this Weinstein?
Let the camera get your tears moved.
I don't want it. See me like this.
Oh, God. You enjoy it?
Oh, my God. It was so much. I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character?
I like Lacey.
Like Lace.
I
She
like
comes
George,
around.
obviously.
George. Nate's great. I like the doc.
I like the doctor. I even like the Berkeley guy.
Berkeley guy's nice. God, John Travolta's so good in this.
Travolta. The kids.
Also, this poor kid. You get this little time of this man in your life, and he leaves such an impact.
What? Who? Why 90s? This is like Steel Magnolias. It's like, this is just for...
Who is this
like
for?
Sad porn.
This is sad porn. It's probably why my mom loved it so much. But the first time you watch it, it is so good because you fall in love. You're like, oh man, this nice guy. Oh my God, this nice guy gets superpowers.
Oh my God, this nice guy's dying. I love him now.
Oh, did you enjoy it, Boo Boo?
Yeah, I loved it. You were great.
You're great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Bean Mafia, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the back-to-back episodes. You know what I mean? We're doing it for you. We'll see you Monday. And everybody, the bonus episodes, the people who paid for them, they're coming, baby. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You think Papa's not going to take care of you? Open your little mouth. I'm going to feed you, baby bird.
So sorry it's happening this way.
See you Monday, motherfuckers.